music is like something I've been doing since I was a kid. Pretty much the only thing I'm decent at. So.
Where did it start?
Where did like the music start?
Yeah, like what was like your interest in music, and then like how did you fall into it?
Dead ass. It was like Popstar Wii karaoke.
Really?
Yeah, like on Wii, there's like this karaoke game called Popstar Karaoke, and I would just sing it in front of the TV all the time when I was a kid, and that's what made me want to be like a musician. I started singing when I was like 2, because like my mom would always play like really singy singers like Whitney, Celine, Mariah, you know, the goats. So I would just like start singing a lot as a kid, and then I started like kind of transforming how I felt about it and wanted to like actually be a singer when I was playing Popstar Karaoke. Yeah. And then my parents found out that I can sing when we were like in Wisconsin Dells at like this water park with my family. There was a karaoke like restaurant that was happening, and I just like went up and sang My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. And then my mom was like, oh shit, this bitch can sing. So that's when I was like, oh, I want to do this actually. And they just throw me up on like any stage to like sing.
Oh wow, so how old were you at that time?
I was 8.
And so your parents knew this and they like helped foster that too?
In a way, they really did. I mean, obviously there's always a little bit of like, you want to be a singer? Like, what do you mean?
Well, was it like a pretty desi household?
Yeah. No, I grew up in like a pretty traditional desi household, I'd say. But, you know, as you grow up, your parents kind of grow up and things like kind of change. But they always encouraged me to like at family parties or like weddings, like I would be the one that they like throw up on stage to like sing a song, like sing for us. And I'd be like, okay. Like, so that helped.
Well, that's like the jump you're making, right? Because I think these people are so inherently creative in film, music, art, dance. But I think when you're first gen and your parents sacrificed so much to get here and they're like, yes, like enjoy it, play with it. But then when it becomes a career, let's go, whoa, slow down.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming for you, tell me if I'm wrong, once you started having like your wins, were your parents like more there for you?
Even when I wasn't having my wins, like when there was times where I would like perform on stage and I feel like I didn't do good, they'd be like, well, the next one, like, you know, like you'll get better like with time. My dad especially, like he would encourage it like that. But my mom was always like, she was critical in like the most honest, best way. She'd be like, well, you know, next time fix this or feel more confident. Like, you know what I mean? Like critical in a way where like it was for my benefit. And I feel like she kind of taught me what it means to like just stand on stage and just be proud of like the fact that you're like a woman and like, you know, stunting your shit, like enjoy that shit. Yeah.
Are you close with her?
Dude, my mom's like my bestie. I love her. Also, she like gave birth to like 2 of my favorite people in the world, which are my siblings. My other sister's been my like intern manager, and Rumsha's my stylist. Shout out.
Oh, so it's a family business.
It's a little family project, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but you know it's always expanding, so it's cool.
Yeah. So like, what was the moment where you're like, hey, I'm like lay down my first song? Because you were in, I'm assuming, college at the time, or?
No, I was 14.
Wow.
I was like 14, and I put a song out on SoundCloud. Yeah, it was called Sane, and I did it live on the piano, and it's still up there. Don't look at it. Don't look at it, y'all. Please don't search it up.
And play it.
No, don't look. It's on SoundCloud, and after that, I was just putting music out on SoundCloud until I was like 15, 16.
Gotcha. I think when we first talked, you're telling about how like the music you make about going to like after parties and stuff like that.
Yeah, like girl, I wasn't even going to any after parties. You were 14, like relax. But it was lit because I was able to write from a perspective that I hadn't experienced yet. I just knew from like the ears, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like, damn, imagine once I actually experience these things, how good that pen's about to be is getting even better with time and experience. So that's good.
I mean, like, you're in your Mercy area that you're about to close right now, and, like, I love that. And a lot of that was about, like, self-discovery and love, and you touched on how, like, there's some real shit behind it. And so, like, when you're entering that era, what, like, were you going through, and, like, what kind of led you into
it? Well, what led me into that era was exactly what you said, like self-discovery, like figuring out where I want to go in the music and what I want to write about. At the time, I was listening to a lot of SZA, Janae Aiko, my girl Ari. I love her. So I was just listening to a lot of like that kind of R&B world, and I think that emulated really well. Like in the Mercy Project, you can see those direct sources of inspiration. And they were just very like, Sis is like a very honest writer. Janae had a lot of like the cool, soulful, like, you know, harmonies and energy that I liked. But for me, like personally, why I wanted to write about those things was because at the time, not a lot of brown women were talking about things very honestly,
Yeah.
like in music, like very few at least. And like it's either like we're making like very like, you know, things that are like direct odes to our culture and stuff like that. But I just wasn't hearing a lot of people talk about like, you know, like, I know y'all be fucking, like, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah. It was cool because it was like a lot of young girls were relating to it. I mean, most of my demographic is like young South Asian girls, just young girls in general, not just South Asian, but just young women who want something to like relate to, you know?
Yeah.
So I was just writing from my perspective, and I guess those people resonated with it.